We've come a long way since the early days of computer-generated visual effects, creating entire planets, resurrecting deceased actors, but one of the biggest innovative leaps came when CG was still in its relative infancy, with Jurassic Park. Released in the summer of 1993, directed by Steven Spielberg and adapted to screen by David Koepp and Michael Crichton, who also wrote the original novel. Jurassic Park set a new standard for visual effects in film, and it fundamentally changed the DNA of the modern blockbuster. CG is no longer just another brush in a filmmaker's toolkit. Sometimes it's the entire canvas. And that flip in the industry only occurred when Jurassic Park showcased the capabilities of the computer, solidifying its role in the creative side of the process, not just the technical.
You didn't say the magic word.
And despite its massive influence, Jurassic Park didn't actually mark any visual effects milestones. It wasn't the first to use CG or the first to use it well. It didn't use the first entirely CG character or even the first animal. But it was the first to successfully hide its effects, seamlessly blending the digital work with the practical alternatives they originally intended on using.
Initially on Jurassic Park, everything was intended to be done somewhat more conventionally between the full-scale live-action pieces, and we were going to do miniatures. But ILM had been working with computer graphics, and they put together a Tyrannosaur that looks pretty convincing, and we took it down to Steve, and he went like, that's how we're going to make the movie.
But they didn't fully rely on CG to create those effects. The stop-motion animation team was repurposed to animate armature rigs equipped with motion encoders, essentially translating the stop-motion movement into digital data that could then be applied to the CG skeletal models. There was an awareness of the strengths and weaknesses of each method, and the bridging of those technologies was a significant factor in making the animation so convincing. And whatever level of detail was too complex for the CG would be achieved with the full-scale animatronics, or bigatures, as they called them. It gave the animators a real-life reference for weight and dimension, something physical to occupy the space in the frame that'd be difficult to create from scratch. The goal wasn't spectacle, it was to recreate reality. And the key to believable effects is the way they're integrated into the physical world. So you couch the digital images with close-ups of skin and eyes and teeth, and by the time you see the CG T-Rex in motion, the practical image has already been pieced together in your mind. The visual effects have to be grounded in some semblance of reality. And you can see that in the cinematography as well. Even when the CG is implemented, you're still witnessing the events from a human's point of view. It gives the dinosaurs a sense of scale and verticality and allows you to relate to the character's fear and awe because it's presented through their perspective. But whose perspective is this from? Or this? There's an incredible amount of research that went into making accurate depictions of these dinosaurs, studying behavioral patterns of alligators and giraffes, muscular movements and walking patterns of elephants. There's a reason no other dinosaur can compare to the T-Rex in Jurassic Park, and that's because it was shaped over thousands of man-hours of paleontologic research and design. And later iterations of dinosaurs in films haven't used what we've learned through paleontology and phylogenetic bracketing. They're, for the most part, Jurassic Park clones. There's been no further innovation, even though science has discovered so much since 1993.
You stood on the shoulders of geniuses to accomplish something as fast as you could. You know, you read what others had done, and you took the next step. You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility for it.
There are a total of 14 minutes of dinosaur visual effects in Jurassic Park's 127-minute runtime, only 6 of which use CGI. That's 63 individual visual effects shots. By comparison, Jurassic World has over 2,000. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but when CG is plan A, and plan B, C, and D are all digital effects solutions, you're probably confusing convenience with laziness. People like to argue that CG has somehow gotten worse over the years, and that's simply not true. But there should never be an over-reliance on one specific tool, and that's what a computer is, a tool. And when you use it to strip away all elements of reality, that's exactly what you'll fail to recreate.